Flosstube, it's Heather. Link is my homeboy. This is Flosstube number 3. It is Monday, July 30th, 2018. Been about 3 weeks since my last video. Quite a bit's happened. Gotten a bit of stitchy stuff done. So life update first, I suppose. First, the hair. Just colored it last night. Was getting bored with the blonde, brown. It was, I had highlights that had grown out and didn't know what I wanted to do with it, so, looked at some colors yesterday at the store and decided upon this. So, it's a bit fall, but that's just because I'm hoping for fall and for all these dreaded hot temperatures to end. Also, last week on Tuesday, I went to the final run of WIP Tour. Big fan of that, that kind of music scene, the punk stuff. So, it was a birthday gift for my sister, actually. Her birthday was back in April, and my parents bought her tickets, and they didn't want to go, so they asked if I wanted to go, and they'd buy my ticket. So I was like, sure, why not? I died, so way too old for that kind of stuff. So I guess maybe that's why it's ending, because the people are getting too old. I don't know. But I did get to see We the Kings and Motionless in White and a couple other bands that I didn't know. And later in the night, Simple Plan was supposed to be playing, but I was done by then, so that's where the lovely color of my face came from, even though I used sunblock and was under the amphitheater pavilion shading, but it's all good. I was glad to be able to go for the last running. WIP Tour was I went quite a few years in a row when I was younger, so it was always a good time, and I was glad to be there for the last full running of it. So, in other news, found out that my insurance company approved my braces, so I'll be getting those fairly soon. I went and got a I went to go see a periodontist and got a deep cleaning done. I'm supposed to go back and see him in a couple more weeks from now and get a final, I guess a final go-ahead. Getting braces as an adult is a pain in the butt, especially when you haven't always had the best dental care. So, I mean, I brush my teeth twice a day and floss every once in a while and things like that, but growing up, my parents didn't have dental insurance a lot, and going to the dentist can be quite expensive without insurance, so trying to get it taken care of now, though, so, but excited for that. Let's see, I'm looking at my notes here. Oh yeah, we had our first ER visit with our kid, with Link. He woke up early one morning and managed to get out of his room and get into the medicine cabinet and get into some aspirin. And weren't exactly sure how much he had taken, so we took him to the ER, and they had to do like repeat blood draws to see the levels of aspirin and everything. Luckily, they said he had only eaten maybe 1 or 2, because at the first blood draw, the aspirin, they could detect it in his blood, and then at the second blood draw, I think 4 hours after that, or maybe 2 hours after that, I can't really remember now, the levels had dropped. So, and he didn't seem to have any ill side effects from that or anything like that. So, just showed our flaws in our childproofing, I guess. But we have taken care of that, so it shouldn't happen again. And last life update, we had a couple of trees in our front yard that one was like right at the corner of the house and had grown rapidly in the 4 years we've had this house, and would likely have caused a lot of damage if it had gotten knocked over or fell over or whatever. And then we also had this huge tree in the front, like in the middle of the front yard. And part of it was dead, and it kept so much shade over the yard that there was like hardly any grass. We tried last year even to grow like some of the shady kind of grass, and I think it went from like 10% grass to like 15% grass. But we had decided we really just wanted to get those trees cut down, and we finally had the money to do so. So we got those taken out. That was just last week. So I did get a video of the big tree falling down, and I'll put that at the end of the video if you guys want to see it. It was cool slow-mo action. So all right, so as far as life updates, I think that's it. So on to stitchy stuff. So I had 7 new starts since last video, but 2 of those were ATCs, and so they got finished, and the other 2 were model stitches for a couple of Etsy shops, and those were also finished. So not feeling too bad about the new starts. So on to the FFOs. I will insert pictures of my ATCs. So I'm in 2 different groups. There's an Instagram group, and then there's a Facebook group. The Facebook group alternates between cards and ATCs. This July was an ATC in the theme summer. So picture of that here. And then for the Facebook or the Instagram group, it's an ATC every month. And that one was, I think the actual subject was A is for ... And I made this little guy here, picture. And then, but those, of course, those have already been sent off, so I can't actually show you the ATCs themselves. And I have received my summer ATC. We'll get to that as part of the haul. I have not received my A, and I haven't received last month's ATC for the Facebook group, or I mean the Instagram group, which was horror, and I haven't seen mine posted either. So I still can't show you a picture of that. Now there was an ATC or a card for the Facebook group, and I think it was for June, it was animals, and I did finally get a picture. The person received it, and I got a picture, so I will insert that picture here. And then, what was the other thing? Oh, the Star Wars swap for the Star Wars mini swap for the whatever the you want group. I got a picture of the one I did, and I will insert that picture here. So lots of picture inserting. I'm sorry. But these next 2 finishes I can actually show you. So the first one was Can't Touch This, which I probably need to put something behind this here. So there you go. It was Can't Touch This, and this is by the number 4 Stitches and Giggles on Etsy. I will link this below. Yeah, this was a model stitching, so I got that done up. I did have it in a hoop, so it was FFO'd, but it was only a temporary FFO just for pictures, because I don't actually want to put it in a hoop. I'm gonna finish this a different way. I think I'm gonna put it in a frame, or maybe do like a flat fold or something, or not necessarily a flat fold, but you know, without the fold part. And that'll probably go in the bathroom, I think. So the other one that I did, and again, it was an FFO temporarily for pictures, and then I took it apart because that's not how I actually wanted to finish it. So this is Solemnly Swear by Circus Stitches. Again, I'll link the shop below. I had a little bit of fun with the finishing on that one. I'll actually insert pictures here. So more picture inserting of the FFOs, the temporary FFOs I did for those. And that way you can see what I did. And then the other FO I had was I finished this test stitch for 8-bit stitch, which I showed the progress I had last time. So sit crooked, talk straight. Murderinos will know what I'm talking about. I haven't decided how I want to finish this one yet, or where it might hang, but it'll go in my pile of finishes to be FFO'd, and I'll get around to it at some point. Let's see. WIP Progress. I do have a little bit of progress on a couple of WIPs I had already started. So first is this Mill Hill Calavera Murado. That's what he's going to look like finished. I literally put like 12 more stitches in it, but progress is progress. So before I just had this little blue part at the top done. I did a little more of this blue that's going to be around his cheeks. And this is just one of my purse projects. I have 2 little Mill Hill kits that I just keep in a little baggie that I carry around. And I don't remember where I was when I was waiting to get those done, but just put a few more stitches in it. It'll get done when it gets done. No rush on those. And the other one is Coffee Lover by Fuzzy Fox Designs. And this one I had started this as part of my 18 starts in 18 days that I did back in January, and as a way to get some of my digital patterns started and get them going instead of just sitting out in cyberspace. This one I had gotten to COFF. That's all I had done. And then so I got the rest of what you see here done. And I like this one. I think I'm going to finish this one soon. I really want to get back to working on it and get it done. It's going to go on my wall in my kitchen. I'm going to do one of the walls in there is, we're thinking of painting it like an espresso brown color. And I'm going to do a whole bunch of like coffee and hot chocolate and tea and things like that. We're going to do like all sorts of styles and stuff. And I'm going to put all those all over that wall there. So the other WIP progress I have is all new starts. And they're all kind of big too. But all right, so first one here, I pulled it off the Q-snap to bring it out here, so sorry it's not ironed. I don't do that. This is the Pretty Little Produce Stitch Along by Fuzzy Fox Designs. I'm almost done with the border. So you can see that like I've got the border connected and everything, but I've still got to finish crossing over this last little section here and then a little section right down here. And then I'll be done with the border except for the words down here, which will say Pretty Little Produce. And I'm stitching this on 20 count Ada in Vintage Country Mocha, which is either a Zweigert or a Witchelt. And I'm using Color and Cotton hazelnut, golden, hold on. Hazel brown. Color and Cotton hazel brown. That's what's being used for the border. And then I'm still trying to decide what color I'm going to do the words in. I was thinking green of some sort, but I was also thinking maybe red of some sort to kind of make it pop. I'm not in any rush on that though. It might depend on like what kind of vision I have as far as the framing goes, but I'm still a ways off from that. That one, each month you get three fruits and vegetables. And that one just started in January. So you've got January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So there's 21 fruits and vegetables so far. So you'll end up with 36 by the end of the year. And Rachel of Fuzzy Fox Designs is making one of them free every month. All you gotta do is go to her Facebook group and or her Facebook page, and you can download the images from there and do that if you want to just do the free one. But they're all pretty cute, so I suggest going and doing the whole thing. Plus, part of it goes to charity. I can't remember what the charity is, but I know it provides meals. It's an Australian charity, so I apologize. I didn't look that up before I started talking about it. I will get that information and share it with you next time, or it'll be linked below anyway. Go look for yourself. Another one that I started is Birds to the Boughs by Lindy Stitches. And let me get my floss out of the way there. Here's where I've gotten to so far. And this is on 20 count Purple Passion Ada. Again, it's another Zweigart or Witchelt. I can't remember. I bought it off 123 Stitch. And I am doing some color substitutions on this one as well. So this right here on the side is Color and Cotton Kalamata. That is replacing... I thought I was ready for this video. Guess not. Color and Cotton Kalamata is replacing DMC 223. So there's the Kalamata over the 223. Hopefully that's focusing. Because, you know, I have all these, I was in the Color and Cotton Floss Club for a few months, and I have all of these threads that I haven't been using. So I'm now starting to pull them out and replace where I can on projects. So where like the variegation would work. And then I'm also, this little part up here, this little corner part, it calls for DMC 832, and I am using Color and Cotton Golden Ale. I think it's pretty close, but it's different enough that you see the change. And also these little parts, like these little motifs here, those little diamonds, and this dark line on the back of the bird's wing there, that is 3041 being replaced by Color and Cotton Blue Moon. And see, this is just page 1 of the Birds to the Boughs sampler. It's a big piece. I don't have the stitch counts. It'll be linked below. It's gorgeous. It's going to be huge, though. So that's why I did the 20 count, because first of all, I like the color of the fabric, and then second of all, I needed something that was going to fit within what I wanted, because otherwise it was going to be huge. And then this blue on the bird there that's hanging around here is supposed to be 3810, and I'm replacing it with Color and Cotton Bermuda. Now this one is a fairly striking difference, but I really like it. It pops better on the purple since I'm doing a darker fabric. This was a little too dark for me. It wasn't popping nearly as much as I wanted. And then I also made another change. The crown of the bird there, I don't know what it was called for. I'm not looking at it, but I replaced it with Kreinik. So 002J, I don't know, gold. And I'm going to do that with the female bird on there too. I will have inserted a picture, of course, of the pattern. Not the pattern, but the image. And third giant start is, which direction does it go? This way, because I have the tag. Okay, so this one is the Tiny Modernist Haunted Mansion Halloween Stitch Along. So that's where I've gotten. So it's a house, and then it's got each of the releases will have a room in the house that gets released. And I'm stitching this on a 16 count Picture This Plus Dusk. This was the piece that I originally bought as part of the pattern, needle minder, and fabric kit for the Armada Designs Harry Potter Stitch Along, the class schedule SAL. And I decided not to do the class schedule SAL on this. I think it works really well because it's kind of got a spooky, foggy kind of look to it. So, alright, so that was it as far as like starts and WIPs and progress and all that. So, let's get to haul, I guess. So first I received my Star Wars swap package, and it was a mini swap. So first I received this little Ewok, and I'm going to turn him into a little magnet. See, with this swap, it, like with the whatever you want swaps, you're not required to actually finish the pieces. You can if you want to, but in order to keep down postage and things like that, since a lot of times it can be international, to keep down postage, they don't require you to actually finish them, which is great because, you know, I've been in swaps before where people finish things and it's like, I didn't really care for that finishing. Like, piece is great, didn't really care for the finishing. So this way you get to pick how you want it finished, and you can, you know, tailor it to your decor. And then I also received this lovely piece, Princess Leia. Love it. And then my partner also threw in a little magnet because they're down in Florida on the Space Coast. So I like it. And then you will have seen what I sent already, the little Darth Vader. Next, and you've probably already seen these elsewhere because I'm slow at making videos, but the Victorian Motto Sampler Shop. This was my first month in the club. Like I said, I had originally done the color and cotton, but I decided that for the second half of the year I was going to switch to another floss club, and everybody talked about Nancy and the Victorian Motto Sampler Shop threads, so I wanted to get in on some of those. I do the limited editions, so here they are all together, and I did open a couple of them just to kind of look at them a little bit better, so that's why they're hanging a little lower. We've got yellow green, which it does variegate from yellow to green. Does not have a DMC conversion. Crimson apple, which is a pretty solid red. DMC 816. My blue bonnet, DMC 932. Indian Summer, which does not have a DMC conversion. This was one of my favorites in the group this time. Midnight Haunting, 3837, my other favorite. And then Mellow Caramel, does not have a DMC conversion. It goes from like a kind of a taupe kind of color to a really, really like a crew kind of color, I guess. I really like it. I'm going to find ways to substitute these in too, so. But they're gorgeous. I love them. And there's a lot of people seem to be doing like destashing and stuff on Instagram, where they'll throw up a pattern and say, hey, if you want this, you know, put your name down and I'll draw a number in a week or whatever. And some people just straight up, whoever claims it first gets it. I think I put some stuff up there at one point. Maybe I can do giveaways on here or something. But RX_Stitch, Lauren, she had put some, she had a couple of these Riolis patterns, Riolis floral patterns up there. And I claimed them. She sent them over. I think they were actually kits. Yeah, they were actually kits. So I'm going to have to either look for a conversion or like make up my own colors, I guess. But I liked them. Don't know when I'll stitch them, but I have them. And then I did receive my summer ATC from the Facebook group. From Diane. Don't know if she's on Flosstube or Instagram or anything, but little flip-flops and shells. And this is actually, that's real sand down there at the bottom. She put real sand on it, so I thought that was cool. And then she also included a bunch of little goodies, a little emery board that has a flip-flop on it, some scrapbook paper, and some fun like summer prints, water and bees and watermelons, and some summer stickers, which I do scrapbook as well on occasion. Haven't in years, but maybe I'll get back to it eventually, and I can use some of those for like summer activities I might do with my kids or whatever. We took a trip to Virginia Beach a couple years back, and maybe I can use some of those for that because they're kind of beachy themed. And then last part of haul here. So Tranquil Stitches on Flosstube here and on Instagram, Cheryl McKinney. She had a fun little scavenger hunt on one of her videos where she had 10 clues for Flosstubers that she watches. And if you emailed her the names of those Flosstubers, then she was going to do a drawing and for a couple of prizes. She had like 2 rounds, or 2 levels, 2 tiers, I guess. One was like if you sent her an email and guessed at least one correctly. And then there was another tier where if you got all 10 correct, then you would go into that drawing. Well, I managed to get all 10, and I guess I was the only one. So by default, I won. And she sent a very, very lovely package. First, it included this gorgeous project bag. Very Americana and stars, and I love it. And the inside is also, and it's got the vinyl front, and the inside is just this star print. And she included a very lovely note in a card. I love this card. The card's gorgeous. And she even sent me a little 8-bit link in there. So when I first posted like my first video, she watched and she was commenting, "Oh my god, I love Zelda too," and you know, being very nostalgic about it. So I kind of connected with her on that one, and you know, started watching her videos, and you know, we are make sure to comment on all of her videos and everything. So if you're not watching her, please go do so. She's great. And then she also included, and it was very America themed, she included this nice scissor fob, the red, white, and blues, or red, clear, and blue, I guess. And the tag at the bottom says, well-behaved women really make history. Hell yeah. And then there's also the zipper pull, which, as she states in her videos, they're not really zipper pulls per se. You don't want to pull on it. It's more of a guide to get you to the zipper. You still want to pull from the actual, like, zipper pull. She included a skein of Weeks Dye Works Independence, which I've already put on a bobbin. And Little House Needleworks Old Glory. So she gave me the pattern for that. Oh, and there was a pair of scissors too, but I think they're being used at the moment. So they're kitted up somewhere with something. So that was my winnings for that little contest, and I gotta tell you, and she's now selling her bags, which she gives people in the, she puts them in the videos first, gives people a chance to buy them there, and if not, then she uploads them to her Etsy after a couple of days or whatever. So if you want first chance at some of her bags, go over and watch her videos. And then she was also doing like a pass the stash on some patterns too, and I claimed this one here. It was a borders, because I like these little dragons. These little dragons down here are so cute. So, and then when she sent that, she also sent me Looney Tunes. And these ones are supposed to be like Looney Tunes specifically for waist canvas, because they've got a lot of designs that are meant to be on shirts. So like these ones let me find the one that cracked me up. There it is. So like this one here, he's designed to go in your pocket. So it's got like two different patterns. You put one on the outside of the pocket and one like sitting inside the pocket. I thought it was funny. Now I don't know that I would put any of these on a shirt, but I'm definitely going to stitch a couple of these. So thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for the fun little scavenger hunt and the prize for that, and also for the pass the stash on those. So I think that's it on haul. I'm still waiting on a couple of ATCs for things. So whenever I get those, I will show you. So shoutouts. So Rita Marie, Stitching Marie, I think is what she used to go by. She recently changed her channel name to Rita Marie's Stitching Adventure. So I just wanted to bring that up. She's a sweetheart. She lives in Norway, and she's doing the 100 Days of Hate and working on a pattern called QS Huggable. It's a little bitty dragon like sitting with some tea stuff. It's adorable. That's not the only thing she's working on, but I know that like that's like one of her big focuses right now. So she's working on that, and she's hopefully like if she does her goal every day, she's supposed to get it done by the end of the 100 Days of Hate. So I'm very excited to watch that. She's coming up on 500 subs to her channel, and she said she's doing a giveaway when she gets there. So if you're not watching her, go watch her. She's a sweetheart. And then I also wanted to say thank you to Amy Loves Toads. She had mentioned me in one of her videos, I think after my first video, and I completely spaced it. So I wanted to say thank you for that. And then I guess the last shout out is, so I had posted on my Instagram. I was a little excited because I had gotten up to 100 subscribers. And I know that's not huge, especially considering, I mean, there's some channels that have like 8,000 and 4,000 and stuff like that. But for me, that was huge. I didn't expect to have 10, let alone 100 people who care about my stitching and want to see what I'm doing. So I had kind of made a little post on Instagram in my stories and was all excited about it. And Rachel from Fuzzy Fox Designs reached out to me she had messaged me on Etsy, and congratulated me and was thanking me for like shouting her out and, you know, like always mentioning her like mentioning her Etsy and stuff like that. I mean, which, why not? Her stuff's adorable. So it's so cute, it can make you puke sometimes. And she had made a little design for me. A little birdie design. I'll insert a picture here. And she said if I wanted to, you know, share it on social media and stuff like that, then I could I'll stick it on my Instagram, I guess, and put a little blurb about it. So you can go there and get the pattern. Kind of cool that a designer reached out to me like that. But, so Rachel, thank you. I really appreciate it. That was very sweet of you. And then I guess my thing with my channel now is gonna be a crafter feature of someone, not necessarily a stitching feature, but someone that I know or someone that I support as a creator of some other sort of art. Now, I mentioned my sister, but now I'm going to mention my dad. So my dad is one of the people who taught me how to cross stitch. And he's dabbled in other sorts of crafts too over the years. Wood burning was one of them. I have a wood burning somewhere, packed away somewhere, that I need to hang up again. But also, I don't know how long ago it was, a year or two ago maybe, he got into turning, wood turning, or it's not always wood, but like making pens and pencils and bottle stoppers and keychains and things like that. So I have, of course, a few of his items. Now these are all, I've got 3 pens here. This was the first one he made me. Now this is made from acrylic, and it's put on a lathe and it's turned at, I don't know, hundreds of RPMs, and you use a blade to shave off. So it starts out as like a rectangular block, and then you spin it into the shape that you want. Like you drill a hole in the middle because there's a pen kit that goes through here. So there's like a metal tube for all the pen workings and everything. It's just a simple twist action. And then this was another one. This is like a peacock galaxy colored one. Again, acrylic. But like I said, it's also called wood turning. So these are like wine bottle stoppers. Like there's the actual stopper. There's the actual stopper part down there. But then he turned the wood. And you can see how like you can get different shapes. And you can see the different kinds of woods will give different patterns. And then the next two are kind of extra special because he actually made the acrylic for these. So after, I mean, you could buy the blanks and everything. They're called blanks. You could buy the blanks pre-made and everything, but then he also got into making the acrylic. So you can buy just like clear acrylic, and then you can add things to it. So he first made this keychain, and he took different pieces from pens that he had made like pens and things he had made previously, and put them in there, and then added some shimmer, and then turned it from there. And then this pen I actually helped make. So he got all the acrylic stuff out, and I did purple and gold. And then he, you know, let it cure and turned it and everything for me. So, but he's got an Etsy shop, and he does pens, pencils, styluses, keychains, bottle stoppers. I think he can make, like, I think there's kits to make seam rippers, so if you guys need a fancy frogger, and I know he does take custom orders, so if you want something handcrafted, check it out. Of course, there'll be a link down below. Anything I've talked about here, I'll always link down below. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments. If you shouted me out, thank you. If you're new here, thank you. If you're old, thank you. Thanks for liking and commenting and subscribing. Haven't got any thumbs down yet, so I'm waiting for someone to troll me and do that, but I'm only 3 videos in, so I guess it'll come at some point. So I will leave you guys with the video of the tree coming down, and I will see you guys again probably a couple weeks. Bye!